Hey guys, welcome to March favorites. I know I skipped, I think, 2 months of favorites, but reason behind that is because lately I've just been going through my collection and just rotating using stuff. So every day I've been using something different. It's just a way for me to kind of rediscover old products and kind of shop my own collection to see what goodies I have in it. So I will start with some face products. My favorite foundation, hands down, has been the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation. I am in between 130 Shell and 160 Fresh Beige. Mixed together, these are perfect. And I really like this foundation because I do like natural finishes on my foundation, and this is definitely a natural finish. It's also very, very comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel like you're wearing foundation at all. It's pretty much light coverage, but you can sort of build it up to about medium coverage without it being really noticeable on your skin. I've been wearing this so much and just reaching for this so much over the last couple months when I want to wear a foundation. Now, if I don't feel like wearing foundation or mixing the colors and doing all that kind of work, basically when I'm lazy, I will reach for my NARS Tinted Moisturizer. And this stuff is really good because for tinted moisturizer, it actually has very decent coverage, and again, it's very comfortable to wear. Unlike some of the BB creams and other tinted moisturizers that I've tried, it doesn't leave like a greasy finish to your skin. It actually leaves kind of like a semi-mattish finish to your skin, which I like because a lot of them are just over dewy, especially some of like the drugstore BB creams that I've tried. It just leaves your skin looking just a little bit greasy. So I really like this. I just apply it with my fingers. I never use a brush when I'm applying tinted moisturizer, and sometimes I'll even skip my moisturizer altogether because it is pretty hydrating to the skin. So I highly recommend this NARS Tinted Moisturizer. Moving on to some concealers, I've been really liking the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC, and I talked about this concealer before. I put it in the back of my drawer because I am NC20, and over the summer it was definitely way too light for my skin when my face was a little bit more tan. But over the winter I was really excited to use this again because it's a fantastic concealer. It is very pigmented, but it's liquid, so it's easy to blend, it's easy to use. A little bit goes a long way, and unfortunately the pump is kind of difficult to use. Not like it's hard to use a pump, but in the fact that it's very difficult to control the amount of concealer that comes out of it. I've kind of like learned how to like just squish a little bit out of it at a time, but when I first started using it, it was just like pump, there's a lot, and you have to figure out a way to like use it all over your face so you don't waste it. But as you can see, I used quite a bit of it, but there's still a lot of it left, and I use this daily. So I highly recommend this. Unfortunately, they don't have like a wide shade range because it goes from like NC20, and I think the next step up is like NC30, which is way too dark for me. So I really wish they would expand on the shade range a little bit. But again, if you can find a shade in this, highly recommend. And then for my under eye circles, I think I've talked about this before too. It probably wasn't a previous favorites video, but this is a Giorgio Armani Maestro Eraser Dark Circle Concealer, and I love this concealer because it doesn't settle into fine lines. I have been having such big issues with concealer settling into my fine lines underneath my eyes, and it's just been really frustrating because it's like, okay, do I go with my dark circles or do I go with dry under eyes and wrinkles under my face, under my eyes? So this one's really great because you kind of get coverage and it doesn't get into those fine lines. I wish it was a tad more pigmented so that I get a little bit better coverage with this, but I would rather go with a little bit less coverage and not having those fine lines being accentuated. I'm in the shade number 3, and I highly recommend. You do have to shake it before you use it, and although it has a kind of like a needlepoint type tube dispenser thingy, it comes out very, very quickly, and it's very liquidy, so you have to be careful when you're pouring it out. Then going on to eyes, I've been really liking this Rimmel London Glam Eyes Quad in smoky brown basically, and I wasn't really expecting anything from this palette, I mean, I'm always trying out new things, and this looked like a really nice neutral palette, and it really is a nice neutral palette. And the reason why I like this one is because it includes warm browns and cool browns mixed together. I mean, this is pretty warm and this is kind of warm, but these two are a little bit cooler. And when you use them together, it kind of neutralizes out and it just looks really flattering on the eyes. And the formulation is really nice. The shadows are really smooth. They are not super pigmented, but pigmented enough. It's just been a really great go-to palette. Next favorite is my Naked Flush palette. I got this as a birthday present from a dear friend, so thank you very much if you're watching. I have been absolutely loving this palette. The Naked Flush palette is basically a cheek palette where you have a bronzer, highlight, and a blush. At first I thought the bronzer would be a little bit too orangey, but on the skin it's not orange at all. It's very flattering, very natural looking. I'm wearing it today, but you probably can't tell with this light on my face. Especially like the highlighter, because the highlighter is not your typical like stark, bright, white kind of highlighter. It's definitely a little bit more darker, a little bit more pink and champagne, but like a darker champagne. And with this, it just makes your skin glow very naturally. It's not so obvious on your face. And the cheek color is very natural as well. It's a very natural, flushed look. I'm wearing it on my cheeks today also. And just been loving this palette. It's very quick, another one of those go-to things. It's perfect for traveling. It does have a nice mirror across the entire lid on top. It's hard plastic and it has a magnetic closure, which is really nice. So I highly recommend this palette, especially if you're looking for like a nice cheek palette for traveling. Now my last favorite is basically like a trend, I guess, but there are a couple of products I recommend within that trend, and it is the bright lip trend. I am obsessed with this trend. It's so much fun and I think it looks great on everybody. A couple of my favorite bright lipsticks at the moment are a couple of the new Maybelline Vivid lipsticks, and I know everybody and their moms are talking about this right now, but they really are fantastic lipsticks. Formula is fantastic. They're super pigmented, creamy, smooth, they last a long time, and even when they fade, they leave a little bit of a stain behind, so it still looks flattering even when they kind of fade away. So two of my favorites have been Vivid Rose and Vibrant Mandarin. I have it swatched on my hand right now. They look super bright on camera right now because the light is like directly on them, but this one is Vivid Rose and this one is Vibrant Mandarin, and this one's more of like a pinky fuchsia color and this one is a orangey red color. I'm actually wearing Vibrant Mandarin right now, and again on camera it's looking a lot more orange than it does in real life. It leans a little bit more red in real life, but these have been super fun. I love them. I think I have almost all of them except for maybe a couple. If you're not into like the all-out opaque bright lip color, or you kind of just want to experiment a little bit with the trend, or you're just, you know, gathering the confidence to wear like the brighter lipsticks, I just want to mention that the Vivids you can definitely still pull off because you can definitely sheer them out. Maybe put a little bit on the center of your lips and then take a finger and blend them out. But if you don't want to do all that work, the Maybelline Color Whisper lipsticks, they have a great range of colors, everything from like the light pinks and nudes all the way up to bright fuchsias and reds and like orangey colors. This one is Cherry on Top. This one is kind of like a fuchsia berry color. Looks a little bit orange on camera, but it's definitely more fuchsia red. And these are nice because they're pigmented but not overly pigmented, and they can be built up really easily. So with one pass you'll get more of like a sheer wash of color on your lips, but if you go like a couple more times, add like 2 or 3 coats on top of your lips, then you'll get like full out color. Not full out color to the extent of the Vivid lipsticks, but you'll definitely get a nice punch of color. They're not as long lasting as the Maybelline Vivids, but I still like them, and they're definitely very more comfortable to wear, and they're a little bit more forgiving. In comparison to these, I mean, you can see one pass, you get kind of like a sheer kind of color to it, and it's definitely like a glossier finish. And then if you do another pass or two, you definitely get like the full blown out color. So that's the Color Whisper right there. So that's it for my March favorites. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any comments or questions about any of the products that I mentioned in this video, please leave them in the comment section below. Or you can leave me a comment telling me what your March favorites are, or if you're rocking the bright lip trend. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.